Good evening, and welcome to the Crypto Overnighter. I'm Nicodemus, and I will be your host as we take a look at the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. And remember, none of this is financial advice. And it's 10 p.m. on a Monday, June 19th, 2023. And welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter, where we have no sponsors, no hidden agendas, and no BS. But we do have the news, which I will get to in a minute. But first, I want to say it is very good indeed to be back. I did enjoy the time away with my wife, but it felt weird not to be working on the show, and now we're back. So, let's get to it. Tonight, we'll be diving into the world of regulatory developments, market volatility, legal battles, and the future of decentralized finance. It's gonna be a thrilling ride tonight, so let's uncover these latest developments together. And we're leading things off tonight with our cover story, with the Autorité des Marchés Financiers, or AMF. They are France's leading market regulator, and they express support for the establishment of globally coordinated regulations for decentralized finance, also known as DeFi. This was revealed in a discussion paper that the AMF published recently. The AMF is responsible for granting licenses to crypto exchanges that wish to operate within France. In the discussion paper, the AMF shared its initial thoughts on the regulatory challenges posed by the decentralized and disintermediated protocols that form DeFi. The paper attempts to define DeFi, decentralized autonomous organizations, and the automated smart contracts that facilitate transactions. It also brings up the associated risks and control levels for consideration. The AMF highlighted the cross-border nature and reach of DeFi activities, and therefore, it supports the development of a globally coordinated approach to regulation. This approach aims to ensure a level playing field globally, with the dual objectives of protecting investors and promoting innovation. In a meeting with journalists in May, the AMF Secretary General mentioned the paper as a contribution to the development of EU policy on DeFi. He also noted the complexity of categorizing participants in DeFi, which is different from conventional finance. Global standard-setting bodies such as the Financial Stability Board are also considering establishing standards for the DeFi sector. A working group for the International Securities Regulator, IOSCO, is expected to publish its recommendations by the end of the year. The AMF expressed full support for these initiatives and plans to increase its engagement with stakeholders, both public and private. The goal is to facilitate the development of a balanced regulatory framework that will support the sustainable growth of decentralized finance in the long term. While regulations are increasingly being imposed on centralized exchanges, DeFi protocols present a unique challenge for supervision due to the apparent absence of a specific entity to target for compliance. The AMF has invited industry stakeholders to contribute to the proposed discussion points until September 30th. This move is part of the AMF's efforts to involve the industry participants in the discussion and development of regulations for the DeFi sector. In a significant development, Binance and Binance US have reached a temporary agreement with the US SEC. This agreement, approved by a federal judge, is aimed at ensuring that only Binance US employees can access customer funds as the SEC lawsuit against the companies progresses. This deal was announced on Friday, and Judge Amy Berman Jackson of the District Court for the District of Columbia signed it early on Saturday. The judge also instructed the parties to start proposing timelines for the broader lawsuit. This agreement was proposed in response to the SEC's motion to freeze all of Binance US's assets while it pursues the exchange on securities-related charges. Under the terms of the agreement, Binance US will take steps to ensure that no officials from Binance Holdings have access to the private keys for wallets or hardware wallets, or route access to Binance US's Amazon Web Services tools. The US-based crypto trading platform will also share detailed information about its business expenses, including estimated costs. The SEC expressed concerns that funds could be moved offshore or records destroyed if it was not granted a temporary restraining order. Binance US's attorneys argued that freezing all assets would amount to the death penalty. Judge Jackson suggested that it would be better for the parties to agree on a proposed stipulation than to have her craft a restraining order. That would come with a 2-week time limit. She noted that 2 weeks would not provide enough time to prepare, given the more than 4,000 pages of exhibits the parties have already filed. The proposed agreement also requires Binance US to create new crypto wallets that global employees have no access to. They have to provide additional information to the SEC and agree to an expedited discovery schedule. U.S. customers will still be allowed to withdraw their funds during this time. The SEC sued Binance and Binance US on charges of offering and trading unregistered securities. They're also investigating alleged massive commingling of funds and other poor practices. The proposed agreement addresses some of the SEC's stated concerns as the broader lawsuit it filed works its way through the judicial system. The SEC's Director of Enforcement emphasized the importance of these prohibitions in protecting investor assets. He also assured that U.S. customers will be able to withdraw their assets from the platform while the alleged underlying misconduct is resolved and the parties are held accountable for their alleged security law violations. Binance US responded to the situation on Twitter. They acknowledged the fight damaged their business and reputation, but not their resolve to defend themselves against unwarranted charges. A Binance spokesperson said that while they maintain the SEC's request for emergency relief was entirely unwarranted, they are pleased that the disagreement over this request was resolved on mutually acceptable terms. They also assured that user funds have been and always will be safe and secure on all Binance-affiliated platforms. According to a research paper put out by JP Morgan, the crypto market is likely to shift towards more decentralization. This, following the release of the Hinman documents in the SEC versus Ripple case. This development is seen as beneficial for Ethereum. Last week, Ripple published emails related to a 2018 speech by William Hinman. Hinman is the former director of corporation finance at the SEC. In his speech, he said Ether did not resemble a security. This statement was significant because the SEC's senior leadership did not classify Ether as a security in 2018. SEC officials recognized that tokens on a sufficiently decentralized network were no longer securities. That situation could lead to a regulatory gap. The report noted that Hinman's speech acknowledged an other category of assets, which is something that me, Nicodemus, I've said a number of times that crypto is neither fish nor fowl. The report also said that these assets are not securities because they lack a controlling group, as defined by the Howey test. However, they might still require regulation to safeguard purchasers. Now, under the Howey test, an asset may be considered a security if it involves an investment of money in a common enterprise with the expectation of profits resulting from the efforts of others. And in theory, all of those parts must be true. So it must be an investment of money, it must be in a common enterprise, which is a big one, there must be an expectation of profits, and those profits must arise from the efforts of others. That's another one that can be troublesome. If it fails on any of these points, it's not a security under the test. JP Morgan suggested that these revelations could clarify why the SEC has not taken action against Ether, because they've already targeted other crypto tokens this year. The Hinman documents could potentially guide the U.S. congressional effort to regulate the crypto industry in a way that could prevent Ether from being classified as a security. The simplest solution for Congress might be to categorize Ether similarly to Bitcoin, regulating it as a commodity under the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. JP Morgan also proposed the introduction of a new other category specific to Ether and other sufficiently decentralized cryptocurrencies. The more decentralized a cryptocurrency is, the greater of its chances of avoiding the security designation. The release of the Hinman documents is expected to intensify competition among major cryptocurrencies to become more decentralized and to resemble Ether more closely. Although, I have to be honest, given the hype level around those documents, and given just how hard the SEC fought to keep the Hinman documents under seal, I'm kind of let down. I just thought it would be bigger. Binance has been making some strategic moves in response to increasing regulatory scrutiny worldwide. One of those steps involves Binance UK's based subsidiary, Binance Markets Limited, or BML. BML has recently canceled its registration with the Financial Conduct Authority. This decision was officially confirmed by the FCA on its website. The FCA said following the cancellation of BML's permissions, no entity within the Binance Group is authorized or registered to conduct any regulated business in the UK. This decision was the result of a cancellation request submitted by Binance, which the FCA completed on May 30th, 2023. Binance clarified that this deregistration does not affect Binance's operations. This is because BML had never conducted any regulated business in the UK. Binance Group acquired BML in 2020 with the intention of launching a regulated business in the UK, but this plan did not materialize. Despite this, Binance continues to hold 5 regulated entities in Europe, including France, Spain, Poland, Italy, and Sweden. A Binance official said on Twitter that as the markets and crypto assets regulation is set to come into focus in 2024-2025, Binance is focusing on getting ready. Binance has already faced regulatory issues in the UK before. In 2021, the FCA ordered Binance to cease all regulated activities in the country. This recent deregistration comes after Binance's chief strategy officer, Patrick Hinman, expressed the company's commitment to becoming regulated in the UK, despite facing regulatory challenges in the US. Binance is currently dealing with 2 civil lawsuits from US regulators, both the SEC and the CFTC. Now, before I went on my break, we talked about how, in addition to its challenges in the UK and the US, Binance also recently announced its exit from the Netherlands after failing to acquire regulatory approval. We also covered that Binance has applied to deregister its local entity in Cyprus and is reportedly under investigation in France for alleged money laundering. Now, the world of crypto has been on quite a ride this year. Despite a strong start, with a 52% gain, digital assets have been lagging behind the Nasdaq stock index by 24% since May. This information comes from a research report released by Bank of America. The report suggests that the current sentiment towards digital assets is not positive. This negative outlook is largely due to the regulatory uncertainty caused by enforcement actions from the SEC. Their actions have put pressure on token prices and have created a sense of uncertainty in the markets. We talked about the SEC's fight with Binance and the allegations the exchange violated federal securities laws. In a similar vein, the SEC has also sued Coinbase on similar charges. However, Bank of America believes that the focus on these regulatory issues and illicit activity is overshadowing the significant progress being made in the field of distributed ledger and blockchain technology infrastructure. The report highlights the potential of private permissioned distributed ledgers and blockchain subnets. These technologies enable the tokenization of traditional financial assets. Bank of America is optimistic about the future of these technologies. They expect blockchain infrastructure and tokenization will transform both financial and non-financial infrastructure and markets in the next 5 to 10 years. While the current regulatory environment has created uncertainty and negatively impacted the digital asset market, there is still significant potential and progress being made in the field of blockchain technology. The development and integration of distributed ledger and blockchain technology infrastructure are expected to bring about significant changes in the financial and non-financial sectors in the coming years. Despite the current challenges, the future of digital assets and blockchain technology looks promising. Zach XBT is a well-known crypto investigator on Twitter. He's facing a defamation lawsuit over an article he wrote in 2022. This article claimed that Jeffrey Huang, also known as Machi Big Brother, embezzled 22,000 Ethereum from a financial startup, among other fraudulent activities. Huang was unable to convince Zach XBT to remove the article, and now he's asserting his innocence and is suing for damages and demanding a jury trial. The lawsuit was filed in a Texas court. It alleges Zach XBT's article lacked evidence and that the accusations about Huang's supposed criminal conduct are entirely false. The lawsuit further claims that Zach XBT sought to personally profit from the article by attracting clicks, encouraging retweets, and, quote, attracting additional donations to fund his lifestyle, all at the expense of the plaintiff's reputation. In response to the lawsuit, Zach XBT stated on Twitter that the lawsuit is baseless and an attempt to chill free speech. He also announced that he set up a donation address to, quote, assist with legal costs associated with the defense of this matter, which could easily exceed $1 million. Zach XBT's wallet address was posted on Twitter, and at the time, the balance had around 33 ETH, or around $57,000, according to Etherscan. He stated that all EVM chains are accepted and stablecoins are preferred, and that any leftover funds would be returned to contributors on a pro rata basis. He also added that this is a classic David and Goliath story, with him being the underdog against the wealthy Huang, who believes he is using his money to silence him. The lawsuit and Zach XBT's call for help quickly caught the attention of the crypto community. In less than 12 hours, he managed to raise over $500,000 for his legal defense. In fact, last I heard, his donations had exceeded the $1 million mark. The fundraising effort resonated with members of the crypto community, echoing concerns about censorship and legal threats against researchers. Notable contributors include Adam Cochran, and Alex Svanvik. The lawsuit and the resulting fundraising have highlighted the fight for free speech in crypto research and journalism, with prominent lawyer Stephen Palley joining XBT's defense. So what happened? Tonight we covered a wide range of stories. Let's recap. We explored the support from France's leading market regulator, the AMF, for globally coordinated regulations in the DeFi space. Their focus on protecting investors while promoting innovation sets the stage for sustainable growth. We talked about the deal struck between Binance, Binance US, and the SEC regarding assets controlled by Binance US. The exchange claimed freezing assets would have killed the company, and we took a look at the compromise reached. We also discussed the impact of the Hinman Documents on the cryptocurrency market, potentially guiding future regulations and categorizations of cryptocurrencies. These documents have the power to shape the industry's path forward. We delved into the regulatory landscape, with Binance canceling its UK registration amidst increasing scrutiny. We also explored BofA's insights on the volatility of the crypto market. While regulatory uncertainty has impacted digital asset sentiment, the progress in blockchain technology remains promising for the future. And finally, we dove into a captivating legal battle as the well-known crypto investigator Zach XBT faces a defamation lawsuit. The support he received from the crypto community highlighted the importance of free speech and research in the industry. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. If you enjoyed tonight's show, then please like, follow, subscribe, leave a rating or maybe a review. And don't forget to enter this month's hardware wallet giveaway. And in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow night.